You cannot even guarantee if these medications are original, if they are authentic, if they are brought in real. On Sunday at the Professor Adyeye, that's the head of NAFDAC, the DG of NAFDAC, was on national TV, and she was talking about the fact that 70% of the medications that we consume in this country are brought in from outside of the country. And you need to hear the percentage of those that she said is actually substandard. I mean, there's been some really crazy operations in respect to closing drug markets in Nigeria. In Aba, there's been some massive closure of the market there, even in Dumota and Lagos here. And a lot of people are starting asking questions. If you say they should open up those markets back, I remember under the administration of the late Professor Dora Akunyili, some markets in Nigeria, some drugs markets in Nigeria were closed for 120 days, and that's because it takes us back to the conversation around patriotism. It's easy for us to jump in and put all of the pressure on the government. Oh, the government is not doing enough, they're not doing this. The government don't import fake drugs. The government don't store expired drugs in houses or warehouses, and they go to change the production date or the expiry date, and they put new ones. Yes, the government don't preserve vaccines in poorly ventilated places and then distribute it after they are expired. The government don't bring in expired baby food, infant food. The government don't bring in expired petrol into the economy. The government don't sell fake goods for the price of the original. I understand the fact that we have a terrible standardization system in this country, whether it is SON or MA, whatever it is. Those agencies are just there. They're literally not existing, because the number of fake product in circulation in this country, Victor, I think the only thing we don't have that is adulterated in this country is human beings, and we probably even need to check well. Because you see behavior of certain human beings and you're like, hold up, are you sure you are made with blood inside of you? So it's a lot of problem. You buy drinks, it's fake. You buy even your regular soft drinks, you find out that some of them are bottled in one corner.
Ingredients are used for cooking.
So it's difficult for us to pull this line apart. But big shout out to what NAFDAC is doing at the moment. Professor Mojisola is really driving this charge against reduction or eradication of fake drugs in Nigeria, because we have loads of them. Victor, okay, imagine when you are not feeling fine. I am still going to buy and somebody is still selling fake and counterfeit drugs to you, and you are not would that not even kill you faster than what took you to buy those drugs?
This is what I wanted to add to the conversation. Good afternoon once again to every listener out there listening to us. This is Midweek Politics, as Okpe has rightly said, and it comes to you every Wednesday. My name is Victor. Now, you have said it that yes, it's fellow Nigerians who are supposed to be patriotic that are involved in all of these activities of importing fake drugs and what have you, but the awareness of some government officials. So it means for them to aid this and allow this to come into the country, the government, the association, the body needs to really sit up and do the right thing. We were talking about water the other time. Do you know a lot of Nigerians are guilty of not even having a cup of water or a bottle of water close to them when they are sleeping at night? We've seen people who choke. We can't tell when the prices of doesn't come down. Be mindful of what you drink. Be mindful of diet relative. For those people who have some 3 months back, some 2 months back, the system has not been designed in such a way to really help you. So what do? You help yourself. But that does not mean that because we are trying to help ourselves, for that reason we're now fall down. I saw one of the posts. Very none of this law international. Sometimes our opinions don't, and you reach out to the family. Unfortunately, the city cannot upload. But let's leave that for another day. We say we have registered SIM cards, we have captured NINs, but we can't trace where those videos have been uploaded. Let's leave that to one side. Then you contact the family of the victims, and then you tell them to pay a certain amount of money in this difficult economy, and then they run around. I'm trying to understand why somebody will wake up and expect us to be lenient with people like that. It's one thing to kidnap and release after ransom is being paid. It's another thing to receive ransom, put the family into some of the most unimaginable pain and agony, and then you still
kill the person. Yoruba adage would say, that means if your child dies and then you see where you bury your child, it's better than the pain of spending your entire life not knowing whether your child is dead or where they dropped the dead body of your child in their states. They should go ahead.
See, they should go ahead. The truth is that it's time everyone begins to look at what works for him or her. And I think in this part of the world, we need to understand that we are different. If the international community has a say over certain issues, they are not the ones wearing the shoes. They don't know how it pinches. In Africa, in Nigeria, virtually everywhere in Nigeria, everyone is screaming one thing: nowhere is safe. So if you need to carry out certain measures to bring safety to your people, I mean, we're talking about security here, do it so long as the people are safe. I just hope that this, like you said, will be thoroughly implemented, and if it is done, let's hope and see what is really going to happen at the end of the day. But all the same, you're welcome once again, and Said is also here to give us all the best of analysis when it comes to politics in Nigeria.
I have a feeling that both of you used to set me up.
I don't know.
On days you choose to wear the same color of clothes, that's when I wear polo. I'll not be the driver of I'll not look like the driver of the Star Bus. So you guys are wearing beautiful outfit, by the way. We're streaming this program studio. You can also go on youtube.com/mainland98.3 FM. Well, you're welcome to the program. If you're listening for the first time, we say thank you for joining us, but don't forget to put these in your diary. Every Wednesday 1 to 3 p.m. 120 minutes, no break, no advert. The only break we'd get to have is where we'd open the phone lines and we'll allow you to join the conversation. There's Said Fuad in the house, there's Victor Achibong here, and of course, if you're meeting me for the first time, my name is. We have a discourse on the military's decision to release 381 ex-terrorists back into the society in their RRR project: rehabilitation, reorientation, and reintegration. It's a process that the Nigerian Army have said is going to help to reintegrate people that were captured, as militants or as a terrorist after they've been de-radicalized and they are reintroduced into the society. The first batch is going to be by March 2025. That's next month, and it's going to be 381. We have that on the menu today. Today also, we're going to be focusing on Lagos, and it's going to be the entire drama around. I've said it over and over again. It looks like like they always say, it seems Ori Obasa Olu. That means his impeachment on the 13th of January, that's over a month ago, is not dying down anytime soon. I saw a video of him, apparently having like a show of solidarity and support on the street of Agege yesterday, and you needed to see the crowd. I mean, there's so much to talk about. There are already allegations I on the streets that the former First Lady of Lagos, former Senator, and the present First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Remi Tinubu, is behind all of the drama happening in the Lagos House of Assembly. We have some senators in the house that have come to debunk that rumor. Well, we have that also on the menu, and there's been some form of drama unfolding in Osun State as we speak. On Sunday, the governor of the state, His Excellency Governor Adeleke, addressed a world press conference where he said that the former governor of the state and the current serving minister Oyetola is the one behind all of the drama and the security breach going on in the state. Well, as at this afternoon, it's been reported that 14 local government chairmen and their councillors have taken over their duties at the local government secretariat in the state. I'm sure you have, we'll break that story up also on the show today. I will have a build up to the story, and then we'll give you update on that particular one. Of course, in the last 2 weeks, we've lost two eminent encyclopedias in the culture and the growth of historical, journey of this country. One was the leader of the Afenifere movement, Pa Adebanjo, that died a few days ago, and then while the encomium had not settled down, and then yesterday, the founder of Pandev, also died. That's our Sir Edwin Clark. So the question on the show about those deaths today is, what do we make do of the legacies that they've left behind? We'll talk about that on the show today. So you're welcome specially. Let's slide straight into the story. The military has announced the plan to release 381 rehabilitated ex-terrorists in March 2025, urging the state government to ensure their proper reintegration through monitoring and empowerment programs that will be made available to these rehabilitated and de-radicalized militants. Well, that is the story. This was made known by the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, and he said a total of 789 ex-combatants are undergoing rehabilitation, with 381 expected to graduate in March 2025. It was being represented by the Chief of Defense Policy and Plan, Sir Vice Marshal Seyi Olatunde, and he said that there's a need for proper integration of the repentant terrorists to sustain the gains made by the of February 2025. The last 1 week had brought in if you follow political situation in the country, you think it ends on Friday. That's not true. On Saturday and Sunday, flips are being coins are being flipped, and then you ask yourself if it is a poorly written script or a terribly executed plan. Side forward, you're welcome. 381 repentant and de-radicalized terrorists will be introduced into the society in the 3-part project of the federal government, which is the rehabilitation, reintegration, and reorientation, rehabilitation, and reintegration. What do you make of that news? Let's start from there.
Well, thank you for having me up, Penny. Thank you, Victor Achibong. I'm not one of those Nigerians that will be unnecessarily excited by sloganeering. We're used to creating acronyms, we're used to creating slogans, but again, one would expect that with the level of discipline, with the level of focus, and the character of the Nigerian army, whatever they say, they will follow through and they'll be thorough with it. There's nothing wrong, really, if you look at it generally, to say you want to de-radicalize repentant terrorists who decided that on their own they want to surrender to the state. Of course, in perception management, it will be that you are encouraging others to do the same thing. That look, you've been the troublemakers, you've been giving problem to the society, you repented, maybe some of you are coerced, and now you've seen the light and decided that look, I'm going to drop my arms and become a repentant. Even God always gives us the opportunity to repent. So but you won't blame Nigerians who question these things too, because of the fact that look, we're not really a thorough driven people, we're not really a process driven people, because the fear is that look, who says that these guys have gone through what is supposed to be a proper de-radicalization process, and then how do you de-radicalize a terrorist? How do you even know that a terrorist is truly repentant and not just people say these things, and again, you can't fault it really. You've gone to the point of eating and dining with the terrorists, you've committed crime, coming back into the society, what's in your mind? Again, we've not gotten the details of this R policy of the government, rescue,
rehabilitation, reintegration, and reorientation.
It would be nice to see a breakdown that look, okay, when a terrorist surrenders, how do you start the de-radicalization process? How do you profile them? How do you even get into their mind to know whether this is a surrender that is coming from good intentions? Again, a lot of psychological work has to come in, psychoanalysis, to make sure that look, because again, terrorist networks always have sleeper cells, people who help them to pick information in the society. They didn't just strike, because they also operate as an intelligent network. Intelligence is also part of what they do before they strike or go after people. People can't kidnap really without also making some form of research. They can't go out there and bomb people without making some form of research. So these are guys who are also extremely intelligent. They have their sleeper cells, they have their network, they coordinate with people. In fact, don't be surprised that some of them have sleeper cells who live next door to you. So it's not a joke really to deal with human beings like this. So it would be nice to see a complete breakdown of the entire R3 program, and that's why the Nigerians are saying that, oh, this is not another shoddy, wishy-washy arrangement. At the end of the day, will put us into trouble with these guys. 381 is not a joke.
It's a lot of
human beings, and dangerous human beings. Really.
I've been privileged to stay in the north. I mean, for some good number of years, and I can tell you for a fact that the process of radicalization is a lifetime journey. It's not something you wake up today and choose to put your life on line because you want to wake up and somebody tells you that if you die by bombing people, being a suicide bomber, you be a martyr. They'll have maybe 700 virgins for you somewhere. So it's a life journey. People get radicalized as kids, and some of this radicalization goes through a whole lot of process. Some of them are vindictive radicalization. These people killed my family, I also want to kill other families. So you make yourself available. Side forward, I understand the perspective you brought this story up, but I'm looking at it from this point of view. What happened to social justice? That is a question I want you to address right now. You come into a village, you wipe out an entire family for doing nothing, because you want to do land grabbing, or you want to do cattle rustling, or you want to do whatever it is you want to do. Then you wipe out a whole family. In the process of doing that, maybe you now, one of the children or one of the kids managed to escape, or perhaps when you were killing the adult in the house, you decided to just amputate the hand and the leg of one of them, and you rape them. But these people that you committed these atrocities on, they are living and languishing in IDP camps. Nigerians are IDP in camps in Niger Republic, in Chad, in Cameroon. People were evicted from their ancestral lands and thrown into live as slaves in their own country. Side forward, beyond the triple R of the government, what happens to social justice in this conversation? So somebody wipes out my entire family, and then you bring the person back into the society, and I see you every day. What do I have against the side forward?
You have a whole lot against the person. You have everything, and you have a right to have everything against the person. And expanding this conversation on social justice, there are people who have also said that, look, this triple R should be focused on the victims.
Exactly.
Not the people that perpetrated the crime. Because like you said, a lot of these guys who have been displaced, as houses burnt, children. For example, look at the families of the Chibok girls. I don't think as a country we've been able to put a closure to it.
We can't heal from that.
I don't think we've even been able to heal the families of the victims. Even the victims, yes, there was a lot of work, train them abroad, take them at some of them I'm sure still live with the trauma. And look, you might talk about the Chibok girls as being the real the victim, but the parents are also victims, because how do you wake up to suddenly see that your child has been kidnapped by terrorists
7 years, 9 years,
10 years,
and then the child comes back with a baby? And that's why, to tell you how difficult it is to de-radicalize people, did you also know then that most of the ladies didn't want to even come back?
They don't want to come back.
You don't talk. This was
want to come back.
Victims are falsely taken away, but because they've stayed for too long with these guys, to even bring them back is a very long time. Some of them wanted to stay back. Some of them had, they've already been making babies together. Emotions have gone into the whole thing. So, how much more people will volunteer to join this network? Like you said, radicalizing people is not something that just happens overnight.
So how does de-radicalization happen in 90 days?
And that's why we're saying that it would have been nice. It would have been nice to have a breakdown. How did you conduct this entire process to the point where you are completely convinced that these numbers of persons can be taken back into the society, and it's not going to cause more problems for us? The other one is that who's going to be tracking it? How do you evaluate? Because this is not the first de-radicalization program. Again, evaluation means that the ones you did in the past,
what has been the success? Because we also report that some of them have gone back to their networks.
Did you track the people you de-radicalized before? Where are they? How well are they functioning now? The skills that you said they got, are they still on those skills? How well are they functioning within the society? So if we have that report, we'll say, oh, we've done 4 second set, and it was fantastic, result has been fantastic, we want to continue on this trajectory. I'm not saying there's always a room for people to surrender, it's everywhere, but what we're saying is that, look, we have to be a bit methodical in what we're doing. The easiest way for social justice is also to create some form of closure in the minds of the victims. closure, for example, is are they back into their community? For example, who works with them currently, who visits them? Have we created a network of opportunities for them to also function within the society? So it's not just concentrating on the perpetration of the crime and leaving the victims. With reports of the IDP camps have been shambolic.
Okay.
And it's going to be made worse now that even the US is
Now, let me tell you a little story. During my postgraduate, my project supervisor, Professor Iirsᴛ insisted that all of my primary data must be raw data. That means he doesn't want me to get there was operations of the Nigerian military in selected IDP camps in the 3 senatorial districts in Borno State. So I had to travel down and I saw firsthand, side forward, the atrocities that are going on in IDP camps in Nigeria. Some of these IDP camps don't have toilets. Some of them don't have fence at the back. So you see full-grown women bathing in the afternoon in the naked eyes of everybody.
And the NGOs are getting a lot of money off their heads.
Now let me break it even further. I went to some of the markets in the selected local governments. Items that were donated to the NGO, to the IDP camps, and were clearly marked not to be sold. Mosquito nets, buckets, bags. These items will be presented in the afternoon.
So we didn't go as far as crashing all those.
You will see the orbs. They will do the photo orbs. They will snap the picture in the nights. They will move them from the IDP camps, and they will go and sell them in the open markets. So you ask yourself, side forward,
who's from the north? And she had come from the north. She schooled in the north. So while in Lagos, once in a while we talk, and she would tell me that look, she's hoping to go back to the north. She's looking for a job in the north. She has a dream job in the north. And so for us in the south, when we see a young graduate who is desirous of getting what you can call a high-paying job,
you think south is the place to come?
So going back to my mind, here, the best job is maybe you are working in the oil and gas sector, you are working in the banking sector. So that was the idea I had in mind anytime she says, she wants to go back to the north so that she can get a high-paying job.
And check what NGO.
And also one day I now probed her mind. I said, what job are you? He said, if you work for the NGO in the north, you are made
for life.
I said, NGO that are helping the poor. I said, look, there are people who are benefiting from the crisis in the north. Sure. What you need to do is set up an NGO, get into the IDP camps, get into just get a robust,
and then start attracting counterpart funding.
These funds are available, and that's why again in analyzing what Donald Trump is doing, yes, whether we like it or not, a lot of these monies that are meant for developing countries, developing communities,
are used to fraud the crisis.
Have been very fraudulent. You see, again, it's about the framing. I don't think, again, there are indications where the United States will covertly, as Sunday with Mr. Curtis, where he was explaining it.
Yeah.
For example, when Russia invaded Afghanistan during the Cold War era, you had a situation where the US was like, okay, we would not allow Russia to take this place. So what they did was to fund the Mujahideen. That was how people say, Osama bin Laden was working for them before, he now turned the table against them. So yes, you have them covertly pushing things around. You have the CIA, helping them with things. There was regime change too, when they think that things, the government is not aligning with their interest and all of that. But it's absurd, and it's just mere conspiracy theory to think that, for example, the US will carry money and just dump
for and fund
Boko Haram and fund ISIS. These are even terrorist groups that the US have gone after. They've killed their leaders, they've killed their members. And if you look at what Congressman Scott Perry was saying, what he was saying is that look, a lot of this money that you push through USAID end up in the hands of terrorists, because a lot of the government officials and the NGOs are fraudulent. So you can't even trust that these monies are used for what they are meant for. You understand? So again, it's just trying to paint a picture that look, if you track most of these monies you put into these agencies, they don't eventually get used for what they are meant for. And so in his own conspiracy theory, if you say you are going to build a school in a place and you put money through USAID and you don't find the school, so his own conclusion is that look, if there is a terrorist organization in that community, from the money, it's a big conspiracy theory. It's not as if there's any facts anywhere to say that look, the US is directly funding terrorist networks. But what is a fact and cannot be disputed is the fact that look, a lot of the monies that are given out through most of these interventions, end up in private pockets, end up in different fraudulent practices, and that's why, for example, they'll tell you how much Nigeria gets on USAID a year, and you'll be shocked. The monies. So if Donald Trump thinks that, look, there should be more efficient and judicious use of their resources, even though they want to help the people, the only thing that people are saying that, look, deal with the fraudulent practices in these interventions. Don't cancel everything. Don't throw the baby with the bathwater. While others also believe that, look, a lot of the things developing nations wait for America to help with are things they can deal with on their own too. If, for example, now South Africa is in serious trouble with the issue of HIV/AIDS, because now that USAID has pulled out, they can't even fund, retroviral drugs, AIDS centers, and all of that.
So let me give you a number. Amid the controversy and data from the financial aid reviewed in 2024, the United States agency disbursed the USAID disbursed a total of $41 billion in 2024 to no fewer than 206 countries, including Nigeria. So Nigeria recently USAID allocated $72 billion to 209 countries, and $1 billion came into Nigeria from USAID funds. So you ask yourself, $1 billion is a whole lot of money. Where exactly have these funds gone?
$1 billion, you know what that means. So the question is, what did we do with the money? Where are those monies? So again, it is what it is. We are open, and I'm praying that this so-called de-radicalization program is one that we've done the right thing. We are hoping that these over 300 former terrorists will not go into the society and become members of a sleeper cell for terrorist networks. We are hoping that the government would also focus on the victims in these communities and ensure that they also get some form of closure. They also have to be reintegrated into the society because they were victims of the crimes that have been committed by these guys.
Imagine having to be thrown out of your ancestral land, and you are now an internally displaced person in Chad, in Cameroon,
and then you're seeing people who committed the crime against you
after they got taken care of by the government,
being led into the community by the VIP.
And they give them money to start up business.
We need to balance these things. The victims cannot be left in the cold while we are putting too much and so many things on those that committed the crime.
So I was going to put this question forward because I know you've said so much concerning this. Anyway, we'll be taking the second story now, but the big question again is, just as the CDS has asked the governors or each of the states to get ready to reintegrate these ex-militants or combatants into the states. Terrorists. They use different.
They are terrorists.
Okay, militants go. That's for the south and all of that. Terrorists, yeah. But then the question here is, are the states even ready for all of this? Because you look at the numbers since 2016, over 2,000 terrorists have been integrated into the system, and according to the CDS, this is just the first batch. There are over 781 in number, and it means we should be expecting another half that will be integrated into the country, into the states. But the big question again is, are the governments ready to accept this and then work out things?
I would assume that the Nigerian military and the military authorities would, have planned this entire program, also getting the nod of the states. Because again, the question that comes to mind is that, look, if they've picked up a vocation these few months, are you going to fund the vocation?
Yes.
So
some part of the badge that were released to Kaduna.
So funding the vocation, for example, you have to look at efficiency. Are these guys fully ready, to run with the vocation, make it work for themselves, get themselves properly empowered? That's one key thing. So for those who didn't pick up a vocation, how do you integrate them? Or would assume all of them have picked up one form of vocation or the other. So I feel that it's not a program that you just start and leave to just run by its own. I think there has to be continuous evaluation. That's why I'm saying that, look, if there are reintegration processes that have been done in the past, the reintegration processes that have been done in the past, but it would be nice to have a report of how that has worked, an evaluation of some sort, so that when you say, in the past, in the last 5 years, for example, we integrated about 1,000 of them, and this is what this one has done. It would even be nice to get a documentary, for example, to say, he was a former terrorist, he's now a cobbler in the society, he's doing well. the society is not yet convinced.
Like
the problem, presentation here to say, oh, this is Malam Kinigon, he was part of this Kinigon. Now he's repented. He now has a shop. Oh, he's run the business for 2 years. The business has become bigger than now he started. Something to now begin to convince the people really that okay, this can work. And while we are doing that, we also focus on the victims and ensure that they also get some form of closure
to balance up everything. We're going to play the sound bite first to remind Nigerians and Lagosians especially what took place from Monday morning all the way down to the evening of Monday in the Lagos State House of Assembly. It was said that DSS were invited. Whether they were invited to seal up the building is left to be cleared to the air yet, or maybe some other thing was asked. But then let's just listen to what the old drama that took place, and then we'll come back and look at where it has been said that Remi Tinubu is not responsible for ongoing assembly crisis in the Lagos House of Assembly. I took my time to listen to Barrister Curtis as well as Said Fuad and Nuruddin. With the whole activity happening in Lagos State, the question is who is responsible. If Obasa, the former speaker, has already taken his case to court, why then are we having this drama in the House of Assembly and all of that? Well, we'll be right back. It's still Midweek Politics on Mainland 98.3 FM. Facebook is still streaming, so you can leave your comments there. Same goes with YouTube. We'll take our time to read all of your comments. But first, let's take a listen to the old drama. Stay with us.
Okay, this happened on Monday, and it's just like a compilation of some of the shenanigans that went down the floor of the house. The DSS came out to say that they were invited. Some people said it was this. At the end of the day, we saw a letter, and it was the clerk of the house that invited. There's just been a whole lot of drama, and I've even seen some spokespersons or acclaimed spokespersons of different APC groups going on national TV to say, oh, this person did this person did that. I also saw a show of force that the removed speaker did yesterday, talking about Honorable Basa. And late yesterday night, there was a rumor that some cache of weapons were discovered in Obasa's office. The office had not occupied since he was impeached in absentia on the 13th of January 2025. There's just been a whole lot of stories flipping left, right, and center. Take a listen to this compilation, and when we come back, we'll go straight up into it. Is it looking like things are falling apart? The speaker, after the old DSS drama on Tuesday, on Monday, eventually presided over the sitting on the floor of the house, and she was seen crying. People said it was a show of weakness. Some people said she's only happy with the level of support and comradeship and solidarity she received. That is for you to decide. But we'll come here to give you the facts and will allow you to fix your judgment. Take a listen to this.
You can't come into the chamber. This is a democracy. This is a democracy. Yes, now you can't bring DSS into the chamber. This is a democracy. This is a democracy. This is a democracy. You can't come into the legislative house. Who guarantee that? Whoever gave that order.
I'm calling on the director of DSS that they should please let us know what will happen that is when taking over the House of Assembly. We have the 6 members say that they have found their way by storm from into this house. But as I want to move a motion as part of what Honorable Kenny has said, that whatever happened today should be reported to the chief and answer. I want to join the police in calling on the DSS to address the invasion of this family. I should be allowed to speak when asked for majority. Madam Speaker, speaking on behalf of the entire members that are seated here today, 36 of us that are seated here today, that we have elected you as our speaker, and that we have removed the former speaker as our speaker. House of Assembly, duly elected. Duly elected. It is on this note I want to ask that members, please, if you can affirm your vote of confidence in Madam Speaker, kindly raise up your hands, please. Can we please stand? And as Speaker, move a motion to say that we do pass a vote of confidence on Right Honorable Mɪᴅ-ᴜᴇᴇ
to conduct the decision of the Speaker.
Honorable Oglere.
I second the motion, Madam Speaker. As moved by Honorable Achumani.
All in favor, say aye. Those against, say nay. Madam Speaker.
Here is easy. To bring normalcy and redecorate is more difficult.
General elections in 2023 have created conversations and consequences that will live with us for years to come. From the executive to the judiciary, legislature, media, and the people, organized labor, and civil society organizations, issues that will continue to shape the future of our country needs continuous probing and interrogation.
I see the greater objective for the party, and let me tell you, I've told the PDP in some locations that, gentlemen, be careful. Better men have founded parties that have gone into oblivion. Where's the party of Awolowo? Where's the party of Azikwe? Where's PRP of Rimi? Political parties must be nurtured, they must be reinvented, they must be true.
Join Okweyemi Akinyode and Said Fuad on Midweek Politics every Wednesday 1 to 3 p.m. on Mainland 98.3 FM for thought-provoking conversations, voices from the top, engaging interviews, in-depth analysis on all matters around politics, policies, and governance. Midweek Politics on Mainland 98.3 FM, bringing the right perspectives to everything politics.
All right. Before Victor leads us into that story, some form of breaking news. The Senate has invited the National Security Advisor, the DG of the National Intelligence Agency, the DG of the DSS, and the DG of the Defense Intelligence Agency to immediately provide a briefing in a closed-door session regarding the allegations surrounding USAID's funding of Boko Haram in Nigeria. That is breaking, so you keep your dial locked on Mainland 98.3 FM news. In our subsequent bulletins as well, we'll give you more details of that particular one. Victor, the years had it. You're welcome into this one.
Yeah, that's an interesting one there in Lagos State. I still say that I remember when Said Fuad was giving analysis, like, over a month ago, we were talking about the Rivers State Assembly as well as that of Edo State that was still very, very fresh on the minds of people. I know he said so much about Lagos State, the stability, the peace, the harmony, and everything that they've been enjoying. And 2 or 3 days into that particular declaration, the old drama started. I don't want to go too deep into this, but there's a story that we've seen here coming up from the presidency saying that Madam First Lady Senator Remi Tinubu is not responsible for whatever crisis that is going on in Lagos State. So at the top of my head, I'm asking my question now. If a Tinubu has been declared or said, built Lagos to this point, and also the First Lady has been there with him all the while, to assist, to support, and to give him any kind of encouragement that she can to build Lagos up to this point, even down to the point of ensuring that, going across the southwest, they enjoy some level of, and more to put it as enjoyment in democracy. Why would the same Tinubu or even Remi Tinubu want to come and destroy the same thing they've built, like so many persons have been saying?
Well, Victor confirmed really whether the wife of the president is involved in this crisis. It's all mere speculation and rumor. She has not even issued any official statement.
True.
She has not said anything about the crisis. So what we have, and some of the remedial reports is just that, look, there are politicians who are saying that, the ousted speaker is close to the First Lady. It is because again, what people are saying is that, look, Obasa could not have been doing what he's doing now if he doesn't have the backing of somebody who is very high and mighty in the political space in Lagos State. And if you look at the politics of Lagos State, especially amongst the APC members. It is a linear kind of operation. It is a centrally controlled command system. And where is the button? Where is the remote? Where is the central command system? It's in Babylon. Don't deceive yourself.
Reality is very deep.
And that's why I've told a few members of the APC in Lagos who always brag about the GAC or the GAC. You know, we have, they will tell you, we have the APC in Lagos has a structure. You have the GAC. You have Kiniko. And I tell them, the GAC is as powerful as the president wants them to be. The power they arrogate to themselves is limited by the thinking and the priorities of the president as far as how they want them to function. And this case has shown that the GAC is not as powerful as they pretend to be, because as it is now, they are not able to resolve the issue. The last report about the GAC, which is now divided, is that look, they think the president will now have to intervene now that this thing has gotten out of hand, and to save the face of the party and the embarrassment that it has caused them. You can see that even the State House of Assembly cannot continue to run the activity. They have to, adjourn sitting indefinitely.
Definitely.
That's a way to say, look, let's tone it down for now, so that we can go and wash our dirty linens quietly,
instead of doing it in public.
Because it's become a public show of shame. So somehow, now that the papers are bringing in the name of the wife of the president, this is the reason why we're even talking about it. And you also see that members of the Lagos House of Assembly have also issued a statement to say that look, the wife of the president is not involved in the crisis, and she's not the one backing Obasa. And like I said earlier in the morning, why is the State House of Assembly speaking for the wife of the president? I'm sure she has her own information management team. So if they think the issue of the Lagos House of Assembly crisis is important for a release, they will put out their own press release. And she can actually even speak for herself. Apart from wife of the first lady of the president, she's also a politician. She's been in the Senate, so she understands the game.
She knows the game very well.
So you see, what we have now is a crisis that is developing. I don't think it's going to end anytime soon. My mind tells me that this is a developing crisis. Why it is unique and why it is interesting than all other political crises in different parts of the country is that look, the APC in Lagos have always pretended that all is well with them. That no, they have a structure that cannot lead to
the house is in order.
The house is in order. They have a control system. So this has exposed them that look, it's not as perfect as they pretend. To make us believe.
Should they be worried?
If they want to be, it might not be. It's in my own. What I'm just saying is that look, you see, when we talk about building a process-driven structure, when we talk about building institutions, for example, one of the major problems that political parties in Nigeria have, even before they begin to fight themselves and go to court, is the problem of internal democracy. Once you see, before elections are held, the parties on their own will first fight themselves to a standstill. It's until the court started warning them that don't bring pre-election matter to the court again. Okay, you remember what because you see people who fight themselves to deliberately cause crisis in the party, and then they go into elections. They now bring the same case when elections have been conducted. So you see that the courts have warned them severally, even had to rebuke some of them to say that look, a pre-election matter is a pre-election matter. When elections are held, don't bring it up again.
Back to the court.
Because what you would have is that the opposition, for example, will plant people in a party to go and cause crisis there. And then elections are held. You now see the opposition party, instead of discussing election matters,
they will now
about the crisis
head.
So, and the political parties themselves are not even helping matters because they refuse to entrench proper democratic tenets within their party. I was asking an APC member some few days ago, in Lagos, you people are always pretending that what you do is consensus. That, can you tell me when last in the APC in Lagos that you guys conducted proper primaries? To say what? Whether for governorship or primaries were conducted. For chairman, primaries were conducted. People, like proper primaries to say, okay, what you have always seen is that
more
consensus.
You drop here, you take care of this one, handle this one.
And you see that you are breeding crisis. Because at the end of the day, you are able to manage that because you have the president, for example, as the leader of the party, who has the capacity, the political capacity to rein everybody in. Everybody will listen to him. But I was telling one of them, I said, let us see something happens. Like as it is happening now, the president is so busy. You know, it was in France. He's going to Addis Ababa, Abi, and if he gets more busy than what it is now, and he's not able to attend to your problem in Lagos,
how do you resolve your issues?
So for everything you suspend it
till he comes back, just the way Gak is saying now.
How does that work, Victor? What kind of democracy are we practicing? What are we saying here? Right Honorable Najib Obasa was never elected as speaker. His people in Agricultural Constituency 1, yes, they have a right to have a solidarity for him and say they are with him, because they've always elected him. How they elect him is as a member of the Lagos State House of what? Assembly.
Since 2003.
He's been there. Yes, they've been returning him. And it is the members of the house who now decide that, okay, well, out of all of us, so you be our speaker. And the same members, so far they are able to get the numbers to third majority, can also decide.
You have overstayed your welcome.
Okay, I mean, it's not like when you get into a class and you first arrive maybe for a graduate program and they say that somebody at least must lead the class. You want to elect HOC. Is it not people just sit there and say, okay, pick, the same people can say, look,
you are not doing HOC. What's the court process in there?
And the constitution, unfortunately, does not, like, if you want to remove a governor, okay, the chief justice of the state must first do this, set up a panel of inquiry, then they say, the issue of fair hearing, the governor should defend himself. So the processes for impeaching a governor, for example, is clear. There are procedures. There must be readings that you must have shown that the governor or the deputy governor has violated some rules, has committed some crime to warrant being impeached. But you know, in the case of the speaker and the deputy speaker,
impeachment is not even the one.
The numbers have decided that we don't want you again. It ends it. But the same way they have a right to remove the speaker without even giving any reason, so far they are able to make the number. The speaker too, if he feels cheated, can also approach the court. That's a civil thing to do. That's a civilized thing to do, which he has done. He's gone to court. In fact, part of his prayers in court is to speed up the process. Expedited rarely. He said, look, I want this case concluded very fast. So I thought that, look, both the house that removed him and himself that had gone to court would have remained civilized in their actions.
Just maintain the
status quo. Miranda continue while he is in court. And if the court rules in his favor,
you come back.
In fact, while he's in court, he can even be coming to the house as a floor member.
He's only challenging his removal as speaker. Nobody does not prevent him from being on the floor of the house,
sitting down quietly while he's hoping that his case in court is concluded.
And he'll go back.
In fact, the house has not even suspended him.
No,
there was no part of the resolution of the house that suspended Right Honourable from coming to sit as a member representing Agricultural Constituency 1. So I thought that at that point, I was thinking, beautiful from the Lagos APC and their people. They understand that local things that didn't happen. If the leaders cannot intervene and resolve it, the other man can go to court, or maybe they're just allowing him to shoot all his shots, and when he gets tired. But to now, and I thought that the center of excellence called Lagos will not replicate the kind of Amala politics we were seeing in Oyo State then under Babadi Dibu and Ladoja. But this one is not as Amala politics. This one is Begrianiwedu politics, Yamayama politics. Because what are we talking about? To the point where the speaker, they said the DSS, you invited us, you didn't invite us. For the DSS people, you said you were invited. So when somebody invites you for an operation, beef up security.
At least you report to the person that
invited you. We don't come. Where are the security threats?
Where do we take it up from?
But instead of reporting, you went there, and then the next thing that you were sealing offices.
Carry big padlock and
the people that invited you are now sealing their office. So at some point, the whole thing became.
Aside from there's a way power will call you, and your way to honoring that power is superior power will call you and change the narrative.
Why you are going? This is what you are doing.
This is what you are going to do.
That was what happened.
But
is that what you are thinking? Mr. Basawi is on the streets of Lagos with his people. He has a right to be in the street. He's also really showing his street credibility. But that thing he showed yesterday does still not make him the speaker, and will not make him the speaker. So the drama is unfolding
about the morality of having the speaker and the governor probably coming from the same space, because it was given a case of anybody but Jonathan in 2015. And people said, oh, the reason why the Madam Speaker was put in there is because they want the state to produce first women speaker, and besides, excuse me, she was also the deputy speaker to the removed speaker and all of that. Is this another case of projecting towards 2027? Because from all of the things you said right now, you didn't bring 2027 agenda into this. We have these audios here. It's always here. The honorable that moved for the removal of the speaker, his speech himself at the presentation of the 2025 appropriation bill on the floor of the House. We have all of this soundbite here. Is this also 2027 on the offering side forward?
There are two issues that you raised there. Also from conversations amongst politicians in Lagos about the APC. What some of them are saying, again, some of these things they bring it to the table, we just discuss it and move on. What some of them are saying is that, look, the president is not happy, or the political leadership at some level are not happy that, look, Right Honorable Mojisola Miranda is from Lagos Central, and the governor is also from Lagos Central. That what they are saying is that even if they remove Obasa, let that speakership go to Lagos West,
back to the West,
and all of that.
And West have the largest members in the House.
But you also have members of the State House of Assembly who are from Lagos West who say they don't mind. Keep that speakership in Lagos Central.
And that says a lot.
Because it would have been interesting if some members of the House from Lagos West, that same Lagos West, Lagos West is big. Lagos West captures Badagry or Joe, and all of that. So if that you just
they are okay with the appointment.
And let me tell you, you raised this issue. Politicians will only talk about equity, fairness, and justice when their interest does not align. When their interests align, they will call it doctrine of necessity. They say that even though we know, but this time we just have to do this as a doctrine of what? Necessity. So the idea of Lagos Central cannot be there as speaker, and then Lagos Central as continue. Politicians know, they will tell you that don't worry, even though Lagos Central has taken 2, and what we will now do is that Lagos West, we can give them some juicy committees or give them heads of they have, politicians always have a way of sorting themselves out. At the federal level, when the North Central raised the issue of speakership, what were we told? Because again, you have the president from the Southwest, you have the vice president from the Northeast, right? Yeah. You have the Senate president from the South. You have the deputy Senate president from Northwest. You have the speaker from where? In the same Northwest. Why not North Central? Because the deputy speaker is from the world, the Southeast. So the only region that was left out from that competition that should only take that, and the most people who even came out and contested was the North Central. So why did the Northwest get 2
principal officers?
And when the O2 was raised, what did they say? They know where the North Central. They now talked about secretaryship of the party. But the vice president from the Northeast, the Senate president from the South, deputy Senate president from the Northwest, the North Central, and then the speaker should ordinarily go. And there were politicians who came out, qualified people, party members, who came out to contest to be speaker. So how did that speaker go again to the Northwest?
They said it's permutation.
So the permutation that does not talk about equity, you see. So again, you see, when politicians throw these things around, you know that, look, it's just about framing and perception management. And then on the issue of 2027, of course, the whole Obasa controversy started
around his rumored ambition.
The rumor that, look, this guy there. We've always talked about potential governors ahead of 2027. Tᴏɪᴛᴛᴏ, Amzat, the list has been growing.
Obasa's name are always featured.
When we look at the list of possible candidates of the APC for 2027, of course, only second time, so he's not running again. So you can't even put him on the list. But Obasa has always featured on the list because people feel that, look, for you to have been in the State House of Assembly from 2003, somebody from council eligible to assembly member, and then he was also
speaker for almost 10 years.
So people felt that, look, it's not a political minion, is well entrenched and established. It's a big deal in the political space in Lagos No doubt about it. So anybody that sits somewhere and thinks Obasa is a pushover, you are deceiving yourself. It's not easy to be that consistent.
Two governors.
It's not even easy to be that consistent. People keep returning you. So, but the thing is this: at the end of the day, unless Lagos wants to deceive themselves, and I'm talking about Lagos APC now. Look, Okwemi, let us look at from 2007. After Governor Bola Ahmed Tinubu is now the president, finished his eight years. You remember that this was where all manner of politicians came out to succeed then Governor Bola Ahmed Tinubu. From
Femi Pedro to there was so much.
Different names, about 11 or 12 of them. Tokunbo Afekuyomi, but with one stroke of the pen, from nowhere, the Fashola emerged.
The chief of staff popped up.
In fact, some of us, that was the first time we saw SAN, 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 came out. We started seeing posters, and I remember that about 12 of those politicians.
Pedro went and contested on the platform. I think is it that AD or Labour Party?
They did not call the
eventually did that for long and returned to the party. After Fashola came Ambody. How did Ambody emerge as a candidate of the party? Was there a primary? Yeah, people also came out. I remember that it was said at that time that Fashola wanted an Ambody from nowhere. Ambody was never a politician. The same way Fashola was never ever a politician. And then when it was decided that Ambody was not going to have a second term, it was said that it was a GNC team, party leaders were not happy with him, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, the party leaders would not have been able to stop an Ambody second term if the central command did not endorse it. And when he was saying no, he would not agree. A very funny promise was done. You saw the whole thing.
He didn't get the ticket.
And then from nowhere, the current governor emerged. I don't think anybody within the party will say the governor is a thoroughbred politician to have been able to take the ticket of the party at that time. Whereas there were more qualified thoroughbred politicians in the party who could have been the candidate of the party. But there was a decision to let the people tell the truth. How did the current governor emerge? Was it his political weight or influence that gave him the ticket of the party to emerge as governor? If not that there was a decision from the central command that you were local. And then a more prominent, more influential Amzat was made the deputy governor. So it is the structure. So I also think that people can flex muscles, but at the end of the day, for 2027 in Lagos,
there's a pool somewhere.
The central command will still decide.
Central command. I mean, that is giving some military vibes, but it's okay.
It's a military thing.
Let's take a quick break. And when we come back, I will slide into all of the drama that is also unfolding in Osun State, and then I would also break it real quick. Let me quickly put this out. The former deputy governor of Lagos State, Chief Femi Pedro, were trying to you remember the political party contested, dumped the Action Congress to declare under the Labour Party. He became the first ever Nigerian to contest for a gubernatorial election under Labour Party, naming the now Senator Oluronta as his running mate in April 19 election. That is in 2006. I just had to quickly put that there because I'm sure a lot of people were thinking, Femi Pedro was going to come in, was deputy governor from 2003 2007 after Madam Kufuor Bokno was removed. I mean, Lagos state politics is just something else. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, I will make a quick trip again to Osun State. Stick with us.
Down and be as a people with one heart for one cause, we're determined to rebuild and restore. Where freedom reigns and truth prevails, our land where there's hope for us all. Our land where there's hope for us all. We'll defend our land. We believe in this nation, and we know we'll get there. We'll defend our land. We believe in Nigeria and the promise she holds, and that one day we'll shine like the sun. We're a great nation. Though we are many people, different tribes, different tongues, we're united in our strength and resolve to uphold the
Here is easy to bring normalcy and redecorate. It's more difficult.
The general elections in 2023 have created conversations and consequences that will live with us for years to come. From the executive to the judiciary, legislature, media, and the people, organized labor, and civil society organizations, issues that will continue to shape the future of our country needs continuous probing and interrogation.
I see the greater objective for the party, and let me tell you, I've told the PDP in some locations that, gentlemen, be careful. Better men have founded parties that have gone into oblivion. Where's the party of Awolowo? Where's the party of Azikiwe? Where's PRP of Rimi? Political parties must be nurtured, they must be reinvented, they must be true.
Join Mɪᴅ-ᴜᴇᴇᴜ and Said Fuad on Midweek Politics every Wednesday 1 to 3 p.m. on Mainland 98.3 FM for thought-provoking conversations, voices from the top, engaging interviews, in-depth analysis on all matters around politics, policies, and governance. Midweek Politics on Mainland 98.3 FM, bringing the right perspectives to everything politics.
politics, not big business.
Okay, you're welcome back to Midweek Politics live on Mainland 98.3 FM. In case you're just tuning in, well, let me admit, you've actually missed a lot. We started this conversation around 1 p.m. like we always do every Wednesday, 1 to 3 p.m. It is 120 minutes of conversation around politics to the very details of it, and we started off with the announcement by the Nigerian Army to reintroduce 381 de-radicalized terrorists back into the society, and we looked at the pros and the cons of such decision. That when you spend so much money and effort on the perpetrators of evil, what do you do to the victim of same? What do you do to their own psychological states? If you come in to wipe my entire family away, and then you were caught, or maybe you surrender, whatever English they choose to use, and then you were kept in a place, you were fed, de-radicalized, and when you were released, you were still giving money to start up business, and me that you committed the same crime against, I'm languishing in some IDP camps, being internally displaced person even in my own country. and you that you caused all of those mayhem, you're being reintroduced into the system. You're being treated like a very important personality. So once the Nigerian army are intentional about fixing all of this problem, they should do the right thing. It is not just allowing the NGOs to take care of the internally displaced people or to go to the IDP camps. The efforts that the government is putting into de-radicalizing and reintegrating and reorientating these terrorists should also be channeled. Even more same should be done into integrating all of these IDPs away from these camps to their ancestral communities. And that is a major message that we're sending out to the Nigerian army today. Beautiful idea in terms of trying to make people come out and surrender and leave the trenches or the bushes and come out to live amongst normal human beings. Because if you look at some of the atrocities that those guys are committing, you question their existence, if truly they are human beings. But again, if they said you've been de-radicalized, you've been kept in a place, you've been trained, you've picked up vocational jobs and all of that, if they are bringing you back into the society, remember, for the issue of social justice, the people you've committed the crimes you were caught and reintegrated on, those people also deserve attention. They need to be helped in healing. If you burnt my farms, you killed my father, you burnt my house, you sent him out of my village into an IDP camp, and then they caught you in the process of doing that, and then they reintegrate you, took care of you with taxpayers' monies, and then they brought you back into the society, and I'm still left languishing in an IDP camp, then a lot of questions need to be asked. We've talked about that. Also focus on the drama, the unending script in Lagos. Somebody said the whole drama around the removal of Obasa was a properly well plot but a poorly executed script. Let's see how it goes. We talked about all of that as well today. Let's quickly also stop over in Osun State, because the PDP presidential candidate in the 2019 and 2023 election and the former vice president, that's the Waziri of Adamawa, has once again condemned the local government crisis that had erupted in Osun State on Monday, resulting in the loss of 6 lives, including the local government chairman. The statement issued via his verified X handle described the chaos as a brutal display of lawlessness, political subversion, jingoism and subversion of democracy. Nigerians bore witness to a chilling display of lawlessness on Monday as the Tinubu-led APC exposed the depth of its desperation to retain power at all costs through sheer political brigandage and the subversion of democracy. It stated that the APC action in Osun State were a result of was an assault on Nigeria's democracy and must be totally condemned. It stated, and I quote, "Armed thugs and mercenaries operating under the party's instruction and protection launched an audacious bid to seize control of all 30 local government areas and in the states, and yet the so-called national leadership of the APC and the presidency watched in complicit silence." He further said that he urged that if not for the fearless resistance of Osun people who stood their ground against the APC rampaging foot soldiers, democracy in the state would have been trampled under the boots of political marauders acting as the behest of their political warlords. Side forward. We all kind of anticipated things like this could happen. On Sunday, Governor Adeleke was on national TV when he addressed the World Press Conference, alleging that the former governor and the current minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Boyega Isiaka, had been the one, brewing chaos and crisis in the states. Giving instructions to the leadership of DSS, giving instructions to the leadership of the Nigerian police, giving instructions to the leadership of the civil defense. Those were the allegations of the governor on Sunday. And yesterday, on Monday rather, we saw the entire drama unfolding. There were videos and pictures of attacks at the local government secretariat. Some local government chairmen also addressed the press saying that they've been getting death threats by the opposition party, saying that, hey, don't come to the secretariat. And there were also saw reports that 6 people, including the local government chairman of Burida, was also, fatally, we know where that ended side for. 2027 is very much by the corner, remember. But more than that, 2026 is also here. There's going to be a re-election if he chooses to recontest for the governor of Osun State in 2026 alongside that of Ekiti State, what exactly is going on? As at the time we started this program, 15 local government chairmen are resumed at the secretariat, including their councillors. 30. That is about 14 more to go. If 16 are resumed, we have about 14 more local government. And this is a result of the judgment of the court that says, hey, you don't have the right to remove democratically elected local government chairman when you won your election. What is going on?
Well, the Osun case is a bit different. And different in the sense that, look, Governor Adeleke did not even remove the governor by fiat. You know, as Mɪᴅ-ᴜᴇᴇ was leaving, the party conducted the local government election. You know, and of course, you know why these things happen. It's just like the same thing that happened with Obaseki and Oᴘᴇyᴅ in Edo State. You know, so you want to leave and then you just try to entrench problems, you know, in the state. So in the same 2022, Operemi, the PDP had gone to court to challenge that election of not following due process. Operemi, and the state high court in Osogbo ruled in the favor of the PDP and nullified the entire election. So it was not the governor that just removed them. It was a court ruling of the state high court of the federal high court in Osogbo. So, and that was the suit against the conduct, the OSEC, how they conducted under Oyetola. And of course, the APC went to the appeal court. But that was not the only case, it was not the only PDP case. There was also another political party, that went to court on the same matter on how the election was conducted. Then the APP, another party. So while the federal high court on February 10, 2025 now ruled in favor of the APC and the ousted local government by the federal high court judgment, and it was even a technical thing, it was about jurisdiction, technicality. So while on the same matter the appeal court had ruled in favor of those local government chairmen, there was still a pending case on the same matter. The pending case was that the APP still had the judgment that also nullified the same election, which the APC had not vacated or appealed.
I mean, just for the APP is APP.
No, but it's a judgment. So because if you resume now, what then happens to the judgment gotten by the APP? Okay, you've been able to
step aside that of the PDP. What happens to the
judgment that nullified that same election by another political party? So I will say that we might not be engineers or economists or lawyers, but you can't question our common sense. These are commonsensical issues here. So the chaos we saw, the killing, was needless. It's just about you. Meanwhile, the governor had already scheduled another election for
end of February.
Yes, last Saturday. Saturday. That's 22nd. Because again, the Supreme Court judgment was that you have to conduct election. So there's another election which is planning. You know, and you know all of this is about the control of the local government. It's about structure. Again,
what is structure?
Is money, and then of course hold on to the local government. So that forceful attempt, because I've seen people come up with ridiculous sentimental issues that in fact the reason why you saw that Adeleke was not quick to talk about appealing the judgment is because there's still another case that even the APC had not sorted out. If you understand what I'm saying, okay. So these things are there for it's not about sentiment, you see. And okay, our politicians would want to play the ostrich, you know, pretend about these things. The APP judgment is still there that the APC has not sorted out. So all they needed to have done is, okay, PDP sorted. If they don't appeal, so be it, to the Supreme Court.
Go as APP.
There's APP that you needed to sort out too. You can't just resume. So this misbehavior, this recklessness by our politicians is the reason why about 7 or 8 people have lost their lives needlessly in Osun State. But that just again, it would have still been that you go to court, which all other governors have done in different states. But this was the PDP then quietly not removing the local government chairman that was, the election that was conducted by Oyetola. He went to court. The PDP went to court and got the federal high court in Osogbo to nullify the election. Maybe it was still the same people outside another party. You know, law. It's not impossible.
There's a backup.
There's a backup judgment. The politician. So, but that judgment also went to the APP. that the APC had not vacated. They've not been able to sort it out.
In the midst of all of this chaos, the Osun State Independent Electoral Commissioner, OSEC, yesterday unveiled voting materials for Saturday's council elections across the 30 local government area of the state. The chairman of OSEC, Hazim Abiri, stated this at the press conference yesterday that the commission is ready for the exercise. He said, and we quote, "We're fully ready for the upcoming local government election on the 22nd of February 2025. We're unveiling the electoral materials." He urged all stakeholders in the political circle to maintain peace before, during, and after the election. Wow.
Okay, I just say so, I don't know if you can do our listeners the good to read it. It's a legal interpretation analysis of the Osun State matter. It's a bit lengthy. I don't know if you can maybe 2-3 minutes so that people understand what we are talking about here.
Okay.
By lawyer, a constitutional lawyer, it's simple analysis of the issue.
This is a lengthy one, by the way. But I will go through it. I will go through it. It's actually published in the Tribune newspaper. And if you follow Festus Ogun on social media, and then you understand how his perspective always clears certain things. Following the judgment of the Court of Appeal, the Accurate Division delivered on 10th of February that appears to be a deliberate attempt by desperate political elements in Osun State to cause a constitutional crisis and breakdown of law and order in the state. He said he's taking his time to read through all of the judgment and the legal framework culminating to an uproar, and is convinced that setting the record straight on the true position of the law is more imperative than ever. So he stated all of the briefs and the body of the message. He stated all of those, and he cleared. To be clear, the judgment of the Court of Appeal alone does not justify the immediate resumption of the local government executives. To make a contrary argument would amount to deliberately wanting to cause mayhem and crisis in the state. Why do I make this bold and categorical statement? The simple answer lies in the fact that in a separate suit filed by the Action People's Party against Osun State Independent Electoral Commission and others, including the APC, challenging the conduct of the local government election, the Federal High Court sitting in Osogbo on the 30th of November 2022 granted all of the relief sought by the APP and specifically nullified the election conducted on the 15th of October 2022 and sacked all persons occupying offices pursuant to the October 15 election. That means there were two judgments nullifying the Osun local government polls conducted on the 15th of October 2022. Expectedly, the APC filed an appeal against the APP judgment but failed to prosecute the appeal.
Follow it up.
Curiously, the same Osun State Independent Electoral Commission, whose conduct of the election was nullified, filed a motion on notice to dismiss the appeal by the APC for the forfeiture of the notice to dismiss same. Now, on the 13th of January 2025, the Court of Appeal rightly dismissed the appeal of OSEC on the initial judgment. And the simple implication of which is that the judgment of the Federal High Court in the case filed by the APP which nullified the election is valid and subsisting.
They have not done anything about it.
It remains unchallenged by the virtue of the dismissal of the appeal by the APC. Mr. Agbonyi and ousted executive in the APC are bound to obey and valid and subsisting judgment in the federal to make is that the Court of Appeal judgment in the PDP case does not in any way confer any right on the local government chairman to return to office. The Court of Appeal did not, in fact, determine the merit of the appeal.
That's also there.
Neither did the intermediate court make any consequential orderings to look into the matter. One wonders why those beating the drums of war are shying away from the validity and somehow the finality of the APP judgment.
I'm not talking about that.
By failure of successfully challenging the APP judgment at the High Court, the APC's successful outing in the appeal court against the PDP judgment remains, in my mind, a Pyrrhic victory, which confers no immediate benefit to them. That's the way.
Yes.
Without doubt, the judgment in the APP's case is unchallenged and remains valid. It is painful narrative that we have to remind political actors in Osun State that the valid and subsisting judgment of a court which is not challenged or which was unsuccessfully challenged remains to be obeyed. The question crying profusely for answer is this: why did the APC or any of the sacked executive not follow through with the appeal filed at the Court of Appeal to the point that it was dismissed? That is the question. He says, I sincerely believe that a country governed by law, all parties concerned must ensure that the APP judgment must not be merely obeyed, it must be seen to have been obeyed. Anything done outside that would amount to arbitrariness taken too far. The security agencies must therefore restrict the temptation to follow the instruction of politicians that are hell-bent on causing
needless crisis. People just lost their lives needlessly because our politicians are irresponsible. It's as simple as that. This is a simple matter. Very simple.
Let's open the phone lines. I mean, I'm wondering what a quagmire the INEC, this OCEC in Osun State will be right now. But they've come out to say that they unveiled the materials yesterday. They said they will go with the election.
You know the problem is that OCEC at that time under Itola conducted the election. And when a new governor comes in, their loyalty switches automatically. You know how OCEC runs.
He's like IRTW.
He just goes to the pocket of the governor. So you could see that they were even the ones even challenging the APC appeal against the federal high court judgment,
and appeal that was against them. They are now challenging it under another government.
You can see what we are talking about.
Somebody texted and he says that Mudashiru Obasa did not go into the house in 2003. Okay. When we put on the mic here, we have our numbers, our figures, and our facts. Honorable Obasa is a 6-term member of the Lagos State House of Assembly. 2003, 2007, 2011, 2015, 2019, and 2023. So let's get it straight. Thank you very much to the person that texted. Boy, he's a 6th term. He's been in the house. He was councillor from 1999 to 2003, and he contested and he won the election, and he's been representing Agege Constituency 1 in the Lagos State House of Assembly before he became speaker under the governor Akinwumi Ambode. So let's get it straight. Let's open the phone lines, by the way, in case you're just tuning in. 09136000410. We've talked about a lot today, and I'm sure with what we just read right now, there seems to be some form of clarity on the issue that is going on in Osun State. It is not that the APC or the PDP does not want to vacate or leave. Even if the PDP decides to leave, there is a judgment, a subsisting judgment that the APP got. By the way, APP is gradually becoming a discourse. They are the ones holding sway in Rivers State as well. Remember, all but one local government in Rivers. That position in that. Somebody said that the party in proxy of the governor of Rivers State, in case the PDP don't give him the governorship ticket. They are now growing wings. You can talk to us. Victor will take the messages on Facebook, 09136000410. Let's make it as brief as possible. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Mainland FM. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, your name and where are you calling from?
It's Wally from Ayabo. State matter. Not I am foremost.
Please go on, Mr. Wally.
Wally, we're not hearing you clearly, please. Maybe you have to call back.
Okay, I'm sure you would have to call back if he's lucky to get through. Hello, good afternoon. Hello? We're struggling to hear you. In case they're trying and we can't connect with you, I mean, the people that decided to increase the tariffs and put additional burden on Nigerians have failed to also increase or improve their service, and that's why we are dealing with some of these issues. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Mr. Pᴏ.
You're welcome. That should be Mr. Olakomi.
Absolutely.
God bless you, sir.
You're welcome.
Mr. Fuad and sister.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, on Osun, I think politicians, they are all the same. So, and that's why I cannot rationalize their actions. They dwell on illegality. Both Oyetola, former governor, and the current governor. The current governor makes use of the State House of Assembly and the State High Court. It's under their purview. You can never see any good judgment coming from the State High Court. Governor dictates whatever the judgment would be. Now, the superior power at appeal, maybe they don't have that one, being a minister. So they are all dwelling on illegality. both current one and the past one. So.
Thank you very much for the network. 0913600410. Ambassador Musbao.
Hey,
you're welcome.
Mr. Fuad.
Good afternoon.
Good everyone. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Let me just use my chance very well. Is it to me on issue of somebody? I want to be sincere with you. God made people want somebody back, but the institution, the people in Lagos State, from Barbados, they are the one that brought because what somebody did. Sure, what happened to Obasana is what happened to somebody that time. But let me leave that for the politicians. What is going on in Osun State right now? I'm not going to say with you. Like the last caller said, both of them. I think Philippe now the spokesperson of APP now. Abi? Philippe now the spokesperson. Why is APP? Let APP come out as a party and talk about this judgment. Both of them are kangaroos. But I want to appeal to Osun State governor. She just do very well to just extend this election on Saturday. Just cancel it for now. For peace to reign and sort this issue out. Because if they continue, I don't know what will happen that Saturday. That's my take. Because what is going on, they are calling me that they are hopefully prepared for that Saturday. For state security,
I'm also worried because with the threat of violence and that we saw on Monday and Tuesday, the threats brandishing weapons and saying all sorts on record. I think the Nigerian police would have to, in a way, pay some extra attention to the election in Osun State. Hello, good afternoon.
With this idea of putting the so-called representative Boko Haram back to the society, and we are fighting terrorists. It's like we are in a hunter looking for an animal, catch the animal, allow the animal to go. So what the sense of us fighting for fighting for terrorists or insecurity? Look at what happened in Anambra last 2 weeks. 5 people was arrested for killing the House of Assembly member. Yes, the police telling us that 2 people has run away from the hostage from police station. What the sense of fighting corruption, fighting insecurity, fighting bandits, kidnappers? Yet when they are there, police from the authorities, they will let the custody and run away.
Wow.
It's unfortunate. I don't think we're doing correctly here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. More calls 0913600410. Hello, good afternoon. Ooh, we got a bit late. I would also have messages on Facebook. Victor would help us with that, but let's pick more calls. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. This is Charles from First House.
You're welcome, Mr. Charles.
Mr. Fuad, God bless you.
Good afternoon.
Your analysis is always top notch. Unlike some of your casemen who are always biased in the analysis. I always listen to analysis, top notch. God bless you. If you didn't get to Apple Rock, I pray for you, one of your kids will go there.
Amen.
But keep it up, don't deviate. Keep it up. Always listen to your analysis. You are not biased. You say it as it is. Okay, please learn work from him. Sometimes you always carry the weight from his analysis. So thank you.
Okay. There are reports breaking, but I'm sure before the end of the program, I will have more concrete, more affirmative position on that before everyone slide into. Hello, good afternoon.
Let's just leave it.
Good afternoon, Victor.
Good afternoon.
My name is Lucky. I'm going to commend for very well. See, I observe something. When every I talk about tribalism, bias. If you look at people that are saying that they say, because the one now they come this program is that people those APC supporters, if they know that they are wrong, they will say, oh, all the governors they are doing the same thing. They are doing the same thing. They should tell the truth. See what is happening in Osun State now. If they are to blame the person that is causing the problem, they want to put it for the same God because they know that the what they call him, is the member that is doing it. So they have to come out to say. This might do wrong. They say all the governors are doing wrong. Shall we continue doing wrong every day? Somebody will not come and correct it. So that's it. And when you talk about somebody will say that in a Tղᶑ all those they are higher. As we talk, Okopa is taking the charge of ideas as we talk. Then they gather people here for Tղᶑ. So for me, Obata, you don't go to law. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me pick 1 or 2 more calls and Victor will take us on Facebook. 0913600410. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, the gentleman.
Please rise.
Agafo. Yeah, about the matter. I will relay the blame to the daughter of Mr. Governor. Why am I saying this? It's nothing like KPP in Osun State. Never have PDP or APC. If you won at your high court, you go to appeal court. Any judgment from high court is nullified by appeal court. The governor today, why can't you obey the law? Go to Supreme Court and have a state of exclusion from
Prince Wise. Did you hear of the APP judgment that a court also nullified that same election?
That APP judgment, I was immediate for you. The man want to be government next Saturday, local government chairman next Saturday is my next neighbor in my town.
Okay.
But what I want everybody to know, 31/7 information from Osun State. The governor today, we know what is happening with all the governors. The government to oppose have allowed those people to stay. As for state of institution from Supreme Court, we didn't do that. And we are shouting, the people being killed, and the government is shouting. Let me tell you, any government from our high court, when you get to Supreme Court, whether 3 or 4 or 5, all are nullified. What are you talking about? No people in Osun State. So governor, whether you like it or not, those who die, they work for him.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much.
I think we need to let Ms. Prince Wise know that this is not anything sentimental.
No, it's not. It's the law.
It's the law. You see that there's no APP in Osun State. It's just your own imagination. There's a party that got a judgment of the court, a registered party that contested the election and was able to go to court and got the job. So when you say there's no APP in Osun State, it's just Prince Wise's imagination. We are talking about a written law here. It's not even that there's no APP in Osun State. Is that those are just mere sentiments, really.
Victor, take us on Facebook. We're really pressed for time.
Yes, let's quickly do this one. Yeah, James from Agbado Junction is saying, "Good afternoon, gentlemen in the studio. The fact remains that the characters we have directing the affairs of this country today left a lot to be desired. People who can fantastically lie and create records on falsehood. One thing they derive so much joy doing is to tell lies. If we cannot figure a way out to compel the OES members to reform our electoral acts, then don't expect any magic. All the events unfolding both in Lagos and Osun State respectively is a clear evidence of the characters we are having. No strong institution but strong individuals," and that is coming from James from Agbado Junction. Thank you very much, James. John Bernard Ohi here says, on the issue of Osun State, on Monday evening the special advisor on media to the governor was on a radio program. He said they are acting on a high court order sacking all the APC local government chairman on a suit filed by another party called APP, which the APC has yet vacate. How true is this? I want you people in the studio to tell us.
Explain that.
Yes. James Nkwachi Ogbonna is saying, "My lovely guys in the studio, I greet you meritoriously, Mr. Okbe. It is not a good time to be sick in Nigeria. Do you know I've not bought my eye drops for more than 2 years now, because the lowest that I used to get for 1k is now 4k, and the highest I used to buy for 5k goes for 23,000 naira, except you buy the unbranded ones, and I use at least 6 different eye drops as prescribed by the consultant. In fact, it's dangerous to skip them because I am diagnosed to have glaucoma. But looking at Nigeria as it is, what do you think people like us will do? On Obasa's drama, I think it's only making himself more popular than he already is. If I predict that this old drama may be the beginning of the end of APC holding sway in Lagos State, would I be wrong? On the reintegration of the terrorists back to the society, we will keep having moves in the security system and more penetration of atrocities. James Ogbonna is from Oshodi. Oloyode, Oluwaseun James. So many James and John texting today on Facebook. He says, "Good afternoon, wisdom men in the studio. Lagos State House of Assembly issue is more powerful than our constitution because one individual is stronger than our constitution." Okay, that's your own comment there. Oluwaseun Adedayo Samson Adewumi says, "Good afternoon, mainland crew. The serious bloodshed in Osun State is needless if APC was ready to play by the rule, and they have started a war that they would not be able to sustain. Please, they can win this war because they are not in power, or they can't win this war. Is that what you're trying to say? Okay, they can win this war because they are not in power in the state level. All right, that's your submission there. Kabiru Adegbenro says, good afternoon, Constitution. You will not hear them now to fight for common man, or for the common man, what the Constitution says about poor performance by them. God bless my country, Nigeria. And I'll take this last one here. We go back to the phone calls. This one simply puts here the word. It says, hi guys in the studio, on the deradicalization of foreigners into the society, because we have been told that these terrorists are aliens. Anyway, it's just 24 of them, not all of them, according to the report, if you read it very well, from Mali, Chad, Niger, etc. So basically, they are bringing foreigners and nationalities. Okay, I think I just have to take it easy here with the words message. I'm unable to piece it together. Okay, let's quickly go back to the phone lines.
Okay, we missed that one from Mr. Kege Joshua. Try and call back 0913-600-0410. Ooh, we have messages here, Victor. Okay, this one says, on the issue of the Lagos House of Assembly, I want to see this beyond Obasa. It's more of an affront against Abuja and probably a hint of a political coup against the big Baba in Aso Rock. Obviously, Obasa's removal was without the president's clearance, and if I understand politics at all, the kind of oversight must be so significant for the political stature of the president. With the recent DSS LSHA incidents, definitely another political force is building up in APC against what is at the center. And that force is becoming more and more brazen. And now that the political figures from the rival party are adding their voices, the whole thing will blow up beyond expectations. Much more than for the APC. And this is indeed a most trying moment for President Tinubu in his own political sagacity. That is Aki Adigun from Ikeja. Thank you very much. This is James Ogbona from Oshodi. Okay, Victor already took your message on Facebook. Thank you very much. Samson Ade says the serious bloodshed in Osun is needless if the APC was ready to play by the rule, and they have started a war they would not be able to sustain. Please, they can win this war. They can't win this war because they are not in power. Okay. Good afternoon, boss man. Tell the previous caller that said Obasa is gone. He doesn't know what he's saying. Obasa STL remain one of the big fish in APC in Lagos, and I'm from Agege, and I know what I'm saying. I stand with Obasa. Rahim from Agege. Okay, more message. This one says, good afternoon guys. Thursday. Okay, this is not for us. This is not for us. This is sending a message before the show itself. Okay, this one says, well done. For side for us analysis, I think a lot of people don't know what is happening in Osun State, and side for had broken it down, especially from what Ope read. The case is very clear. The APC were not told to return into office. They only vacated an earlier judgment, and there's still another judgment. If the APP are also serious and are not being sponsored by the PDP, they should go back to court and clarify the position of their own judgment. The bloodshed in Osun State is needless, and if care is not taken, more bloodshed can happen on Saturday. Let there be peace in Osun. My name is Stephen from Ikorodu. Let me talk to Mr. Kege Joshua.
Bro, good afternoon.
You're welcome.
That's what I greet you.
Good afternoon.
Mr. V, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Kege Joshua.
Yeah, mainland focus is like FA Cup. Midweek program is like Premier League, and the one on Sunday is like Champions League. To be sincere, I just want them to give Obasa a fair hearing. See, it is not easy as politicians to go down like that. You know, to this height and be dethroned. You know, in politics. See, majority of the problems some of these politicians they are having is their followers. They will be the one to push you. See, Oga not grow. Even some lawyer advisors, they are the one in charge of all these problems. See, ordinarily, if you ask me, I would have loved to advise us after that. If you still want to progress later in politics, or if you still want to succeed politically in Lagos, keep quiet, play along. You can relate with Baba. Go and meet Baba in Abuja, explain, Baba, were you the one? Are you,
Are you a part of this?
Yes, but for now, the moment you start fighting dirty and you lose, the only thing, the issue is you must not lose in this fight, because the moment you lose,
if you lose, you are gone.
You are coming back to ground zero.
All right. Thank you, Gage.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gege Joshua. I mean, a lot of people are coming up with the whole idea of maybe there's a structure that is challenging the powers that be, there's a build up, maybe there's an explosion.
This is getting interesting.
Absolutely.
Because we're having news of resignation and denial.
Yes.
I resign, I didn't resign. I don't plan to resign.
No plan to resign.
That's a little cooler.
Yes, I'm sure that by
that situation.
And even the news of defection, 27 members have defected to the Labour Party. That one too has been denied.
Let's keep listening to some of those things. But aside forward, it's always an amazing time when we get to do this. But more importantly, the issue in Osun State had to be handled very carefully, because the local government chairman from the PDP that had to vacate the office are not handling down anytime soon. The APC that are taking over the local government one after the other are also not backing down anytime soon. But there is a local government election on Saturday in the same state for the same political seats that everybody wants to put their life on the line for. And putting their life on the line is not about patriotism. It's about the soul and the pocket of the local government, especially with this Supreme Court judgment. The allocation is going straight to local government. 30 local governments in that state. How much more of peace do we need in Osun State ahead of this local government election?
Than ever before, really. It will be sad for us to see a repeat of the mayhem, the killings that happened 2 days ago, repeat itself on Saturday. And that's why it's important to call on all the political players in the state to be more responsible. It's also important that we also talk to the security operatives to ensure that no matter what happens, there are constitutional processes to resolve all of these issues. The elections can hold on Saturday. Whoever is dissatisfied can go to court. And that's why we're saying that, look, we should always throw away all of this unnecessary and needless sentiments when we're talking about these issues. Because, look, we're talking about 7 people who have lost their lives. More could have happened if not for the intervention of the police and the girls, cause some more many Nigerians. What we are saying here is that the law is so simple to understand. If you devoid your thinking and your mind away from unnecessary sentiments, there are court judgments that needed to be attended to. And even if it was only the APC judgment, the PDP judgment, there are processes to even implement a court judgment. It's not by fear, violent about you just go there, there are processes.
Shouldn't there be proper handing over?
Processes. I'm going to do this. You can even write to the security operative. This is what we intend to do. So apart from that, there's a court judgment that you have not attended to. So it's as if it's just deliberate. People just want to cause unnecessary chaos and killing. That's what we've seen in Osun State.
And I hope that that chaos and the killings that we saw on Monday will not repeat itself on Saturday.
And we are begging the Lagos politicians too, because that their own case has not yet resolved.
Because at the end of the day, it is the innocent people that will get caught up in this madness. The local government chairman, whether embattled or legitimate, will find a way to escape and run to their houses. But the people on the streets will be the one to face the consequences. Thank you so much, Said Fuad, for always adding spice and value to 1 to 3 p.m. every Wednesday on Mainland FM. Victor Achibong, it's an amazing time to be on radio. It seems there's a lot of denial, there's a lot of twists and turns, there's a lot of flip that are going through and monitoring. Thank you for being a part of the production today.
It's always a pleasure.
And to all of the callers and everyone that listened to us for 120 minutes, please make it a day with us next week Wednesday from 1 to 3 p.m. for Midweek Politics. Next up, by 3 o'clock is going to be the boss. It's Request Wednesday. Kunle Daniels is going to be here. They call him J Dan, the good guy with a bad intention. And of course, his beautiful co-host BB, the biggest B. Yes, and by 4 o'clock you have to join Sej Babalola in the Situation Room, and by 5:30 there's going to be the Sunset News, and by 6 o'clock I would also come back for the midweek edition of Sport Cruise on Mainland 98.3 FM, and by 7 o'clock there's going to be Ladies Lounge, all women superstar radio conversation all the way down to 9 p.m. So we've got everything well sorted out for you on Mainland 98.3 FM. My name is Okoyemi Opeyemi Akínyẹ̀dé. Have a very beautiful evening and keep your dial locked on Mainland 98.3 FM. Bye for now.